It's a better version of Glengali Beach. It's still a map that we haven't seen enough yet to pass judgment on it, but it feels so far much better. And the rust distance on it, if you look at it at first glance, seems really short, but actually it takes quite some time to cross between the bases. There's a lot of things you can do. The medevacs, positioning your units on high grounds, and he said if I chat, I can't do my build. That's what he said there.
Well, right now, the one thing that's really important for InNoVation is to know that this map is also quite strong if a Protoss player wants to be aggressive. We saw Alicia using timings here with Blink, which can be really strong on a map like Hyundai. And Alicia said that he personally thinks the map is really good for Protoss. He likes it very much since it gives him a lot of opportunities of what to do here. So, as a Terran player, you can of course then later on in the game use your medevacs and have here some really good drop areas. But you need to be careful, because if the Protoss player really wants to go for one of those aggressive builds, Hyundai gives him the opportunity to do so.
Oh. True. You know, we could also see from Trap a build like, for example, Proxy Oracles on this map. Pretty good map for it. There's a lot of places to hide that. And you know, this map is pretty narrow, as just pointed out by Trap, but there is a lot of paths that can be opened up later on in the game. So SCV Scout Gun will come over here. Nice timing on that. Just happens to see the Nexus as he goes by.
Reaper is going to follow that up to have a second glance into the base of the Protoss player. But for now, the SCV just confirming what's going on here. And yes, the expansion was of course scouted. We have the Mother to immediately build. And the Probe is just going to take a stroll at the beach.
Yeah, the Probe's just going to enjoy it. You know, it's the first robot to ever enjoy a beach. Is that Probe? He's the first one.
No, Wally already enjoyed the beach.
Yeah, I suppose. But that's in the future, I guess, so...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This probe came first.
Yeah, I confused my timelines. I'm very sorry.
You know, this build that we see from InNoVation looked extremely standard at first, but then he added a factory, which takes the... It invalidates his standard. Is now doing a non-standard build, which actually has been scouted, so... Well, is he... Okay, never mind. I misread something on the minimap, or on the production tab. Regardless, the Reaper will scout.
Yeah, Reaper with a quick look here, and the tech choice, on the other hand, for Trap is going to be heading straight into the robotics. And we have now also the Marines just waiting for the first potential observer to move in here.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to deny either an Oracle or that fast scout. Unfortunately for him, his build's already been seen. Probe may have got to enjoy the beach before he died, but he also did a jig. He did a jig. That's what we got. Looks like we're going to see a fast third CC here. Widow Mine on the way. So InNoVation wants to get ahead early using some Widow Mines and then go into the late game.
Yeah. Stroll at the beach was, by the way, probably one of the points in the bucket list of that probe.
And I wonder if he's going to continue to build mech-oriented units. I don't think so. But that would be one way to play, give an exciting game for the fans.
I mean, we don't mind drops if you get into the... I mean, we talked about this a little bit already earlier, the drop potential that you have on a map like this. And if you just look at the map and you look at the mineral line, it's very much exposed to drop play. So with Widow Mines, you not only get the safety in the early game, but once you have the medevacs in the match, you can use that to just go in and maybe drop even the mineral line. For now, he's just going to rely on the Widow Mines on the ground. With the third command set that we have for him, he really wants to go into an economy-based play. But Widow Mines here, he said it earlier himself, the map is quite narrow, so that's why the Widow Mines make a lot of sense for him.
Yeah, there's very specific areas where you're going to move through, most likely as a Protoss player. And the place you put that Widow Mine is going to catch a Stalker that wants to go up and check. Or even if he wants to make a third base there and he sends the probe by itself to go and start the Nexus, it'll be killed and that'll delay his base a lot. And he'll have to bring an observer over. A lot of cannons going down here, and this is really smart by Trap because this way, if there's any Widow Mines in his main base, he doesn't have to have an observer nearby. He can just use the cannon. And actually, a cancel.
Yeah.
And a reasonable cancel, actually. I mean, he knows it's not a big commitment here.
Yeah, he has one cannon still in the main base, and that's of course not only to deny potential Widow Mines, but also to just work against drops in general. Scans here, wants to take out, of course, observers.
Yeah, looks like he got one. So, +1 on the way, stim halfway done. Quick little Twilight Council here for Trap, who could actually go Storm before Colossi with this type of build. Looks more and more likely. And he actually takes the Nexus on the south, so that Widow Mine not being too useful here.
He actually saw the third base of his opponent, so him expanding again makes sense here. The Twilight Council so far is completed. And we have him just gearing up a little bit, going for the charge upgrade.
Something's weird there. And you're weird too. What? I must have missed something that happened before, but regardless. Oh, so you saw the Widow Mine.
Okay, there we go. We don't mind taking out.
So the second observer will come over here and get a little bit more information. He wants to know if the third command center has been moved to the low ground, because if so, he needs to hit that timing with his charge to pressure it.
The Twilight Council, of course, not only to access the charge upgrade, but at the same time with the Temple Archive now, he can later on access the Archons, going to the Storm upgrade. But we have now the timing for the drops, and InNoVation is in the position where he can just go for the double drop in the main base, take down that cannon, and then go straight for the mineral line.
Yeah.
But of course, Trap will have a bit of reaction time here.
Yeah, I don't think he knows yet, but he's got the Mothership Core right in position, and he actually will snipe the Mothership Core, definitely. Well, oh my god, 5 hit points there. It does go down. And he should actually just get out of there. He could have tried to kill a few probes, but getting the Mothership Core alone is a pretty nice little snag.
Yeah, that means that in the next turn, when he actually goes into the main base, there won't be a photon overcharge, so the cannon will be the only thing that Trap has there. But he also calls his observer back to make sure that he has a bit of an idea where exactly that drop is positioned and when it's going to move in once again.
That spot on the third base for InNoVation means that he knows exactly how long it's been there.
Good move there, seeing the observer, immediately dropping another scan and taking it out. It's a very limited now information for Trap. He doesn't really know what's going on, and InNoVation identifying the observer was definitely a really good move and strong move for him. So that is making it a little bit uncomfortable for Trap right now. He doesn't really know, okay, where does InNoVation approach next?
And now he gets an idea, but he's actually being approached from 2 locations, something he does not yet realize. This Archon might be free for the taking. One Zealot definitely is. And there's no Mothership Core like you mentioned before, and he's really being taxed as multitasking here. The Mothership Core just popping out, but it's not going to be useful for an overcharge. It just doesn't have energy. Nice feedbacks.
Really strong feedbacks, an attempted snipe on the third base, but at the same time the Natural is being attacked and all of those probes are suddenly endangered. Yes, everything will go down here, but one of the medivacs can still escape and does. A lot of Harvesters killed here. I think he got at least 5 or 6.
And the cannon being gone here means that the medevac can actually escape uncontested. He even decides to drop more here. Not sure how much he's going to get done. Gets one more.
Yeah, gets one more Harvester, and that's already worth it. Escapes with the medevac, so definitely a nice move. 60 Harvesters against 63 now. Both players still being on 3 bases, of course.
InNoVation playing this so smart. He adds 2 bunkers because he knows, well, I've really crippled his economy here. Like we talk about all the time, if you're up in Harvesters as a Terran versus a Protoss with the mules, your mineral income is insane. So he makes bunkers because he knows, all right, Zealot run by, something is coming soon, because if he just lets me still in my 3 bases where I have better SCV count, he's going to be regretting it. And look at this. Intercept is a Warp Prism as well. Does not kill it, but he's going to go for the kill. He chases.
Yeah, he chases it and he takes it out. Very well done here. InNoVation with some really good moves, and once again dropping his opponent's main base, going for it, taking down that Archon, and Trap is really having problems here. He's more chatting than playing.
Yeah. He's not happy about what's going on here, and Storm is not ready. It looks like InNoVation is not certain about that, though. Runs away, could have kited a little bit more.
Trap is going for the new meta. He's just trying to distract InNoVation as much as he can with his chat to just leave himself in a position where he can maybe surprise InNoVation at some point and then take down the army, because everything else on the map is not really working in his favor.
Now, as far as upgrades go, as soon as +2 army finishes, he will be ahead in upgrades. And also, with Storm out here, this game is not over yet because InNoVation has no ghosts. And as far as I can tell, okay, so he just got his first few out right there. And he's adding a few more, but without a whole lot of ghost energy, Storms can definitely turn this game around. We've seen it before.
Yep, double Stargate has now been started for Trap. Trap wants to save his chances here. And we have at the bottom left still Trap in a very, very defensive position, whereas on the other hand, InNoVation right now with additional ghosts going for the Merbeast reactor. The 2-2 has been started. He's starting a couple of Vikings. But the question really being is, will those Stargates really come into play for Trap, given how much aggression InNoVation puts in and takes down another Warp Prism?
Another Warp Prism. And he's just, continuing to pressure here. And I mean, I guess he's going to go Fleet Beacon and try to get some Tempest into the game. But against Bio,
it's going to be really tricky. I do not think that he really has the time.
Yeah, it's not time yet. You got to get an edge before you can go Tempest in this matchup.
Trap looks a little bit like the younger brother of InNoVation, by the way.
Yeah, actually.
Just
I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it.
Well, we still have InNoVation trying to put a little pressure on. He has 112 army supply. Storm InNoVation is a bit ahead in army supply, but not by that much. But now we have EMPs coming in.
Not a single storm.
And, oh my god, these Ghosts did a great job there.
No storms, not even one. He knows it too. He sees no more Templar. One storm comes from the north.
That's the only one that he gets, and the stutter step here is beautiful.
The
nice
upgrades,
time warp, though.
Yeah, the upgrades and the time warp there really pulling through.
He's going to the main base.
He's going for it, and there's not a whole lot there. He might actually have to recall.
Afterburners into the main base, and I think recall is the only thing that he actually can do. There's
Does he
nothing
have enough
else for
energy?
him.
No, he does not have enough energy. He must have used more than one time warp there, or at least the Nexus cannon.
Okay, tries to faking out a little bit. Moving in. Here comes the drop. Going for it. The High Templars with the attempt to feedback. Not too much. High Templars going down. The warp in just started. The feedbacks are strong, but not strong enough.
Not strong enough at all. He's losing several of his very expensive High Templar here. Probes going down as well. Supply is still relatively even, but there's a fourth base going up for InNoVation right now.
Triple observer for detection, because sometimes one is not enough, but they can't do a whole lot. He's trying to just distribute them once again, but now we have the tech structures also being attacked, and another round of warp. It's not doing a lot here.
Yeah, he's just wasting money really with these warp.
Yeah, InNoVation is just building up another army, but the supply is still very much the same. It all comes down to the next drops here for InNoVation.
Exactly. He does have to finally leave. He saves the Templar Archives, or the Twilight Council, which means he can continue to get +3. And the Fleet Beacon tech was not revealed, as far as I can tell. Okay, so he checked here to make sure there was nothing on the island. And in fact, there is nothing on the island. I think InNoVation might have actually been scared that there was something on the island because of this. You know, I don't want to say it's a comeback just yet, but you know, the Zealot Rumbai is over here doing a little bit of damage. And fans are going crazy in the studio here. A lot of people really tense about this match here.
Yeah, there was some chat going on between the two of them. The Korean stream actually has not the overlay at the bottom right that gives you information about the StarCraft unit. That's where they have the picture, so they can read the entire chat. And there was something going on which triggered that scan, and that's what the Korean commentators were talking about. It caused quite an uproar in the crowd. So in case that you're wondering why there's something going on here, the Korean stream is taking a little bit more notice of the chat and has a bit of a different overlay here, but has like a lack of information of the game itself, because everything that you see at the bottom right, they don't really have that.
Exactly. We can only read some parts of the chat that kind of fits the middle, and all I'm seeing is Trap asking InNoVation why is he so serious. That's pretty much all he said this game. And InNoVation is just continuing to be serious here.
He wants to win. He's at 200 supply, and he goes in again.
Tempest reveal.
Tempests are there. There's the first snipe immediately, and we have an EMP as well.
And he locks him out, and the Tempest now cannot be attacked. Also a good storm here, and great Archon hits.
Really good moves, but still a massive lead for InNoVation and overall supply. And the army supply flame is out of control. His 3-3 has been started, but the Tempest, they cannot be attacked now. The Immortals, on the other hand, they're just running.
The thing is, the Tempest just are not doing enough damage. He needs to target key units. Targets a Ghost. Targeting some medevacs could really do some good for him here.
Yeah, these Immortals, this is definitely not Sparta. They were just running away. A real Spartan would have just gone for it and took them out, all of them, single-handedly. Yeah. That's not really happening here. Question now, of course, being what exactly has InNoVation to deal with all of those Tempests?
The Tempests here are going to be very useful now against InNoVation's fourth base.
Yeah.
He's got no cover there. And so the Tempests are actually just going to camp his mineral line. And, you know, as it is, turrets don't cut it against Tempest. He needs to target them, though, and he's going to work. Meanwhile, another big attack here to the south. Great storm while InNoVation was chatting, apparently.
Yeah, the storm goes down, and we have this fourth base just still being attacked here, but on the other hand, the storms against InNoVation! Oh my god, Trap finally gets them up, and they are hurt.
They really did. The Ghosts all low on hit points. The Tempest coming from behind to try to finish them off. Cloaking goes down. Where are the observers? They're to the back, so he can still see them.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem, but still a 70 supply lead for the Terran player in this game. He has such a massive lead in army supply. It is crazy. 111 against 46.
If you just look at this, it looks like, wow, his army is getting torn to pieces by the Tempest, but if you look at the minimap, you can see he has an entire second army already ready to go, and half of it is in medevacs right now, boosting around the left side of the map. He is going to eventually have to respond to these Tempests, though.
Yeah, he needs to do something about that, but if he gets close enough with the Marines at some point, that would already help him. The problem is I don't even think that InNoVation definitely has to deal with them right now. Yeah. If he just goes for the base over and over again, what is Trap supposed to do?
Exactly, just ignore them and just attack other locations. Tempests are slow, they shoot far, but it's hard to chase. And Another nice storm set here from that units, and the Warp Prism even escapes. And the Tempest could cut off the medevacs from retreat. It's not going to be easy.
But there's a second force already coming in the main base alone. He's sniping that Nexus here, and he is just pulling all those... yeah, he's pulling all the Tempests in. And now here comes the move at the third base. And if the third goes down, that would be game. Look at how many bases InNoVation has. He's expanding again.
InNoVation basically just has army after army that he's willing to trade or at least split. And good storms here again. EMP goes on those warping units. The Tempests are eventually going to clean this army up, but the army at the third, 2 cost efficient here. He's got 14 medevacs, and that's a lot of his army, so this will be pushed back. He will actually hold the Nexus for now. The fourth is still up.
The medevacs, and that's what he does right now. In the main base, on the other hand, there are still a couple of units going strong. And InNoVation, he just doesn't stop. He goes for another set of drops, this time maybe aiming for the 4th here, and that's exactly what he does. Can he take down the base?
Looks like he may be able to kill all the workers at the very least. He killed several of them. Going to kill the Zealots. Here come those Tempest shots. Very difficult for him to actually close the distance on those Tempests.
The High Templar and Warp Prism already dead. The Archon also going down. And that's when he moves back once again. Going in, doing damage guerrilla style every single time, just trying to be as active on the map as he possibly can and using the disadvantage of the Protoss player's army composition, the lack of mobility.
As soon as he finds those Tempests just one time out of position, he's going to boost a bunch of Marines and medevacs underneath them and then stim and kill them all. Just do not deal with Marines very well. He's also adding in Vikings, and because Trap has been under so much pressure, he's been really struggling to continue to produce Tempests. He doesn't have a lot of money. Something that InNoVation has a lot of. Look at the income at the top right, just 1,000 minerals per minute more. And it looks like he may actually go for the Tempest tech down here.
Look at that third once again, that stream of red that is just going for that third, and he's moving in. He is done with this. There are the storms. Can he take out the High Templars? He really wants to have this third the entire time. Trap denied him, but this time there is no denying that this is a massive force, and he is going for the sniper. Is it? A storm is good. This is so darn good. Oh my god.
So good. So many storms here. Good flanks, but Templar and storms alone are not going to kill this army. He needs a few more Archons. Pushes it back once again, and he actually evens up the supply more than it has been in the past few minutes, but still under attack at the 4th base.
InNoVation is just always ahead in supply, and yes, Trap is trying to close that gap, but InNoVation is everywhere.
Another Archon gets sniped here, and here come those Vikings. They are going to go for the Tempest here, as you can see, and also going to help deal with any Warp Prisms that may be harboring those Templar.
8 Vikings so far. Here come the Mana Mules!
Mana Mules come down. InNoVation going up the ramp. Nice target firing here with the Vikings. Also a little bit of kiting going on. If the Marines get underneath the Tempest, it's going to be lights out, and there they go.
Moving in, the Archons trying to prevent the burst, but one of the Tempests is already down. The second one also dies, and InNoVation just trying to tell Trap, get out of my game, dude. But Trap, he's still holding on. He's still securing his bases.
Yep. You know, InNoVation's going to be wondering how is he holding on here. It's just those Tempests they're very cost efficient, you know. They're not very good at killing you straight up, but eventually the amount of damage they've done starts to add up because they're good investments. They're getting a huge ROI.
InNoVation is up a base. The entire time he is always up one base, and now he's getting those Vikings into the picture once again, and they are starting to snipe the Tempest, whereas the rest of the army is going down the beach once more, trying to aim for that third. He really hates that third base.
He really wants to get it. The Vikings coming in here, but they are under attack by so many Archons.
Oh, ouch, that hurt, but the third finally gone, and that is limiting the income of Trap quite significantly.
Yep. Now, this next wave here, if he does not crush this army and Trap that is, it's going to be game.
This is the beginning of the end, Wolf.
Yeah.
Losing that third base is a huge problem. But maybe with the Archon flank, I never thought that would say that. The Archon flank is moving in, and yeah, if he crushes the army, but I don't see it happening. The micro is just good. Nice micro by Trap here with the drop on the Warp Prism.
He will kill this whole army, and Keller, I mean, this game is definitely still heavily in InNoVation's favor, but supply is not as different as they were before. And if you just look at the army supply, it looks like, well, he's 20 armies supply down. But if you look at the cost of these two armies, I bet Trap's army costs more, and a lot more.
But look at the income at 1,600 versus
yeah, he's on
650. I do not think that he can really make this work. If there wasn't the extra base for InNoVation, then yes, maybe. But like this, if InNoVation plays the same style that he plays the past few minutes, I don't think that Trap can just hold on for the entire duration here.
It's becoming a matter of income, like you said, and Trap not only down in his overall supply, but his worker count 35 with no 4th base. His 3rd base is already mined out.
It's actually 1 mineral line against 3 what we currently see.
Yes.
That's what's happening here. 1 mineral line for Trap and 3 for InNoVation that they are mining from. And this is why we have nearly triple the income for InNoVation right now. And he's putting it to good use. He takes even down another high Templar here. Very cost efficient for him.
Yeah. You think about how much money you lose. You lose a Templar to a Marine. That's ouch. Yeah, just, I mean, he has more than triple. The attacks, the Viking count is too high now. He has 4 Vikings at a time. There's only 2 Tempests left.
Yeah.
And a few good EMPs on those Archons is going to close this out.
He doesn't have Ghosts at this point, so
Yeah.
that's a bit of an issue. He never really went back into the Ghost production. He's just now starting the first few. But even with pure DPS, if he doesn't really eat those storms with a clutch or with a clump of his army, he doesn't clump up, if he starts to split, then I feel he will be able to just overpower Trap with sheer force.
He just has such a better income. He can remake his army in seconds, something that Trap cannot afford to do. If he loses his army one time, it's going to be the last because he just does not have an economy anymore. Storm on all the Vikings, actually, but he still gets the shots off.
He's doubling the supply now. He is doubling Trap's supply, chasing down High Templars, killing them, eats the storm. He's absolutely fine with this. And he is expanding again, taking the base to the top left of the map, where Trap is going for Troll next side.
Yeah.
Because
he has
sometimes
minerals.
one photon overcharge is not enough.
He has enough minerals, you know, and the gas is his limiting factor, but obviously this is not a good strategy. The extra chrono boost is not really going to be what he wants here.
Oh, I'm telling you, he wants to go for the double photon overcharge.
Yeah,
It's going to be a thing.
can help him against the Vikings for sure, keeping those Tempests alive. Well, Trap is living on borrowed time right now, and here come those ghosts. Time's up.
Yeah, time's up. Here comes the army. InNoVation is moving in. He sees those next high. He thinks for a second like, whoa, and then he just goes for it. Storms hitting that entire army on the other hand. Oh my god, it is storm season.
Just so much army anyways that even if he eats it all, it just does not seem to matter. Vikings landing here, they're going to destroy this ground army. Archons are gone.
And everything is gone. I mean, that's 3 army supply that he still has left. 1, he has an observer. That's it.
That's it. That is it. 34 probes from Observer. Cannot fight this army, never can, never will.
He's trying though.
GG.
GG InNoVation, bringing Team Red to a 3-0 in this match.
Yeah.
Quite impressive. Really good game.